humans, how's it going? Susan Ruth here. Thanks for listening to another episode of Hey Human Podcast. This is episode 193. I sat down in Nashville, Tennessee with Winter Breedlove. I would say this episode has a few not safe for work moments, so if you listen without earbuds around other people, that's your warning. Definitely want to maybe wear earbuds or just be prepared. Winter is hilarious and very bright and fun. I follow her on Facebook. She makes me laugh every single day with her crazy experiences and her observations, which are poignant and spot on and fascinating. She sees the world. And I think a lot of people, go through their life, they don't see things, and she really sees things. She's transgender, asexual, HIV positive. She's a hell of a writer. She's working on her business plan. She's working on her future. This is Winter, as she would say, in all of her realness. So I'm really looking forward to you hearing this episode. I really enjoyed it. In other news, we lost Neil Peart of Rush last week from cancer and Terry Jones this week from Monty Python. Two stellar humans. I was in second grade when we were charged with memorizing two poems, and I remembered a song my brother was obsessed with, Trees by Rush, and I was obsessed with my brother, so thinking songs were just poems set to music, I memorized Trees for the assignment, and also Robert Frost's Fire and Ice. I was an intense child, I guess, but Monty Python was on a lot at my house. I grew up loving that sensibility, that sense of humor. So my first boyfriend in college, Paul, worshipped Rush, and I reached out to him and said, I'm so sorry. I know it was a big loss for a few of my friends and for him, and he asked if I would do a shout out for the American Cancer Society for charitable donations. So I'm doing that. And also St. Jude's, of course, also kicks butt. Those are really great causes. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, it's under Hey Human. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for Susan Ruthism. That's my personal one. My website that has my art and my music and stuff about comedy and anything I'm doing in that realm. You can just go to susanruth.com. Rate and review Hey Human on iTunes and your favorite podcast app. Check out the links page every week on heyhumanpodcast.com. Tons of great info regarding each episode. So I put lots of stuff on there. Definitely check that out. If you dig Hey Human, which hopefully you do because you're listening, and the fact that it's ad-free and all that good stuff, consider donating through the donation button on heyhumanpodcast.com. It helps a ton to keep the show running. You can email me, Susan at heyhumanpodcast.com. You rock. Thanks for listening. Let's get into this episode. It's a lot of fun, and here we go. Winter Breedlove, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on your show or whatever.
Absolutely. Welcome. I learned about you through someone on Facebook and started following you.
Oh, I wonder who it was. I can't remember how it went.
I'm not sure either, but your posts are so hilarious. You're one of my favorite things to look at on Facebook. So you're so funny.
People have told me that before in my life. Just, it's so random.
Yeah. Have you always been
that's what people said in high school. I'm just a random person.
Were you a funny kid?
Mostly random.
What do you mean by random?
I just blurt out random things.
Yeah.
And it's probably, the kids, it's related to the bipolar disorder probably, but.
Oh, are you bipolar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I just roll with it. I let the bipolar work for me, and I've learned how to make money off of it finally, so.
By doing stand-up and stuff?
Well, yeah, by doing stand-up and acting,
Yeah.
Acting is really, because I'm very highly emotionally volatile, I guess you would say, and it's helpful for acting as well.
Did you grow up in Tennessee?
Yeah, I grew up outside of Nashville and Franklin.
Okay, I'm going to ask you questions I already know the answers to because I follow you just because they don't know.
I was preparing for this I went to voice therapy at Vanderbilt. We did a little mock interview today.
Oh, you did? Oh, nice. The apartment we're in right now, Ellen, her sister used to work there. She's a voice therapist. She now lives in another state. But I started having some issues with my vocal cord and went in there, and they were so awesome in there. They're
the best part. I told them today, I was like, everyone else sucks, but you guys are the best.
Yeah.
They went out of their way because they knew I had a speech tomorrow, and they made room in their schedule, and everybody else at Vanderbilt, they don't care. Can I say curse words on here?
Absolutely. We encourage it.
It's not regulated by the FCC, is it?
Fuck those guys. I don't know. It's fine.
So I was like, the rest of them they're just terrible, and they're really good over there.
How long have you been doing speech therapy?
A year, and I've really improved significantly. Yeah. I'm having to take, I recently started doing journalism again, and I recorded myself, and I noticed sometimes I sound doodly or whatever. Doodly. So I'm having to take, breathe in deeply and use my abdominal muscles to we did a little mock interview. That's what she recommended.
Oh, good.
Deep breathing and using your abs.
They're really great over there, I think, for sure. I'm a Mar fan, and so I was born with a paralyzed right vocal cord.
Oh, okay.
And so my left one has to do all the work, and they taught me some techniques on how to not have seizures in my throat, things like that. It's crazy, right?
And I keep wanting to see Dolly Parton, because apparently Dolly Parton goes there, but I haven't seen anybody.
A lot of famous people go there. A lot. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think... I want to say I saw Tim McGraw in there once, but I might be lying. Normal family, cool family, terrible family.
Well, how much time is your show? I grew up in a very religious family, and I feel like that's kind of the genesis for how I turned out. I have very sex-negative views. I feel like in a way, after going to ex-gay therapy for years, I've turned out into this fucked up version of what my parents always wanted, which is kind of very asexual and anti-sex for someone that's, sucked a lot of dick in their past life.
Yeah,
so,
but they kind of, the religious people sort of wanted you not to think about sex, and then when you were like, I'm gay.
I had some trauma and some rapes and some, and so now I'm just like,
Did that happen during your childhood?
No, it happened during my, years as a homosexual. It's it's a medical term.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just a very strange time in my life. And then I started taking the hormones for this gender transition, and now it's
You feeling more normal or less normal?
Well, more normal, I guess, but I don't really have as much sex as I did. I'm going to be truthful. I've learned. I did hook up recently over Christmas for the first time in 2 years, and it was okay. It was kind of weird, and I'm going back to celibacy, I think.
Yeah, sometimes sex is far more complicated than it's worth, though.
It really is, and I've had a lot of
even as cis-normative, it's a lot.
I'm going to just be real. It was this baseball bro, which I used to be into athletic dudes in my past life. And he was coked up, and then I actually dropped the cocaine up his asshole, and I had to go fish it out, and I ended up getting really high on cocaine on Christmas, which I haven't done coke in years either, but I was in a Panera Bread, jacked up with my wig askew, and it was a crazy Christmas. So I'm just gonna be real.
Well, happy birthday, Jesus.
That's true. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
So you actually had to go through gay conversion therapy?
I went there actually in this town where we're doing this, Brentwood, for about a month, right down the street actually, and.
That must have been traumatic as fuck.
Well, it was interesting, and he wanted to record my voice to demonstrate how masculine I was and play it in Kroger. And then the lesbian there ended up sleeping with a lot of their patients, so they wanted me to testify in a lawsuit or whatever against the group or whatever. And I think he still is operational down the street. So
I thought gay conversion therapy was illegal.
Well, it's not technically still broadcast as that. It's kind of on the down low or whatever. I'm pretty sure his off, because I went to another therapist a few years back, and I just saw he was still listed on the front door or whatever.
Yikes. They haven't figured out that doesn't work, I guess. Although, I have seen the poster of the folks that it supposedly did work for.
Well, then put me on the poster with my wig, honey, because like it finally took with all those rapes and trauma I've been through.
Did you just how did you just put yourself in some dangerous situation? Or what was it?
Well, that's true. There's a genderqueer commune outside of Nashville. There's a New York Times article about it. I'm in the article as the lone visitor smoking a cigarette wearing the Oak for t-shirt. It's a radical fairy commune.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And that kind of turned me into a sex negative person too, because it's very sexually open and everything. And I went down there one year. You follow me on Facebook, so you probably know.
They don't know any.
I had an unrequited lover.
Okay.
We're since frenemies. Just this past month, we're frenemies after a long battle for 4 years. But he's like a pretty boy, and I wanted to prove him wrong. So I...
Prove him wrong in what?
And by fucking everybody at this And so I put myself into some, situation. They have like a bathhouse there, and I was hooking up with this nurse from like Texas or something. And after we were done, this other dude randomly tries to like get rapey with me or whatever. So I've had some crazy experiences like that.
And I don't mean to say it in the terms of like, it doesn't matter where you are, no one should rape you. I don't care if you're some buck-ass naked in the middle of a whatever. But I didn't want it to come out like that.
That's okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. How old were you when you said, hey, I'm a gay person? Before you went, hey, I'm a transgender person. I feel like your life has been in phases, right?
It's very fucked. Well, I can't even remember. It's been a long life. I don't even know if I'm here right now talking to you. I just, I guess I was younger and there was, again, a lot of baseball bros online. This was back in the day. I don't know if you're familiar with Jack and Chat, but it used to be a chat room where people would jerk off, or teens could go to jerk off, which is probably a breeding ground for pedophilia.
I'm sure.
So I met this Christian baseball player back in my teenage years, and we ended up kind of hooking up, but he left me for Jesus.
Was he older? Or?
Yeah, well, a year older or whatever.
Yeah, he left you for Jesus. So
he went to Nashville, we had sex, and he left me for Jesus Christ. So that's probably been around the time frame, I guess.
Was that when you lost your virginity?
Yeah, about in that time frame.
Yeah. Where did you go to? Did you go to college?
Yeah, outside of Nashville and Murfreesboro.
Okay, and what did you study?
Mass communications.
Explains why you're so good with words. You really are great with words. You're funny. And you just started doing stand-up?
Well, I did it in New York City, and I was really good at the Moth, which I don't know if you're familiar with the Moth.
For sure.
And I was really good on one-story slams, but I just got really flustered with specifically my genitalia. And so I just stopped doing it. I had a mental breakdown in New York City. I came back to Nashville. I had about 5 more mental breakdowns.
Do you think you were always transgender, or do you think that the rapes and just the constant barrage of you being gay wasn't okay? Where did you... Because you said it's your genitalia in the way.
I feel that I had a lot of pressure on me from my family, and I used to do drag, but I was kind of shamed by my dad for not doing it, or for doing it rather, and so I think it kind of, as I explained recently during my recent psych hospitalization, just this past year, I told the nurse, I think that all the trauma kind of just pushed it forward a little bit, Sure. I know that's very unpopular, narrative, because it's like you're born that way or whatever, but I really do feel like all the traumas just pushed it out of me, you know what I'm saying?
I do, and I think everybody's entitled to their own experience, so just because one person is I was born transgender, it doesn't mean...
That's true, that's what people say, there's a multitude of trans experiences.
There's a multitude multitude of everything, right?
Yeah.
There is no black and white. It has always been gray. I'm glad you like the wine. It's good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, cheers. So you were hospitalized. What was that like?
Well, I've been hospitalized multiple times.
For the bipolar, or?
Well, for suicidal ideation and for bipolar, I suppose. I want to start talking about it in stand-up, but I always have, the patient privilege or whatever, the privacy,
Even if you're the patient?
Well, other patients, because there was this one, I guess I can say it on your podcast, there was this one woman that reminded me of like a country Roseanne Barr, and we were like the fast friends. Like I met her on the first day, and she was like, I'm going to choke everybody with my panties. They make them like choke on my pussy juice in here. And I was like, oh my God, I want to hang out with you. Like I was like, I felt a certain kinship with her,
Sure.
Yeah. And
because you're a lippy broad, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we kind of hung out, and there was this woman at the same place that she was like kind of like the cat lady from The Simpsons, and every time I would walk in, she was like, I want to put you in a headlock and steal your glasses. And I was like, all right, So I've had some interesting people that I've met over the years at these places.
Was it helpful to be in there and having that group dynamic where you realize you're not the only person in the world that has stuff?
Well, yeah, I guess most recently, and he wouldn't mind me talking about it, my friend Dylan, we met last year, and he's like, I would have been into him pretty, everyone in the psych ward thought we were sleeping together or whatever. He would bring me food, and he would I would help him out with his issues with the hospital or whatever. And we've kind of developed a friendship, and I'm really fortunate to have met him, but I don't know if it's helped me overall. I feel like at a certain point it's just like you get caught in the cycle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what makes you suicidal when you get that way?
Well, as I told my arch nemesis turned frenemy, unrequited lover turned arch nemesis turned frenemy, I was up all night in July thinking about him, like fixating on him and every shitty remark he's made about me. And I don't know, I don't know why I got in that mood, but I was up all night thinking about every shitty thing he's ever said to me, and it just spiraled out of control. But now we're kind of friendly, and I feel like it's healthy because I don't want to sleep with him anymore. And so I feel like we might have a chance at having a healthy relationship.
Well, it's interesting that you say on one hand you're asexual, but then you also get these crushes that you want to...
Well, that was a few years ago. That's also, as I told him, it's kind of pushed me into asexuality because it was so painful of how that whole thing, and I was just like, I do not want to put myself through this again with another guy. It was just really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm learning my vocabulary as a woman, and especially with the dude recently, I just felt really, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to put myself out there. I was so hurt by this relationship, and I don't want to be I'm very vulnerable right now, so I don't really...
Sure.
It's a lot to take in, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I get that. And relationships are tough, period. I don't care what shell we're stuck in. It's just not easy because not only do you have to deal with yourself, but then you have to deal with somebody else and all their shit. And that gets tough for sure.
But I don't really get the crushes as much.
I do. I get so many crushes. I have so many crushes.
But I really haven't, over the past few years, gotten really, I can see that it's a dude that I would have really been into and tried to bang, but I kind of have, there's so many walls I have built up, I guess.
Is it tricky for you to date, considering you're transgender, or? Well,
there's a lot of things going on, and then the HIV aspect, I know it's not the 1980s, but, I don't really want to... sex just terrifies me now, and I just don't, I'd rather just not do it anymore. It's just too much to maneuver for me,
When did you find out you were HIV positive?
Well, that was a couple years ago when I moved down to be near the genderqueer commune, in McMinnville, Tennessee, and I was trying to be celibate then and not really have sex. And it was a town that is probably the meth capital of Tennessee, And there's not a lot to do on a Saturday night except smoke meth and have sex. And one night I was just really bored, and there was this dude that was affiliated with the commune, and that's what happened. I smoked meth and had sex, and, you know.
And that was where it happened?
Yeah.
Did he know of his status?
No.
Yeah. Does he now?
Well, he still wanted, he kept writing me like, well, let's hook up again. And I was like, no. I was like, you gave me something, and no thank you. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I guess so.
Have you come to terms with that? I mean, I know it's, again, like you said, it's not the 80s, so things have changed as far as being able to maintain health and wellness and longevity of life. But that must have been a load of bricks on your brain pan. Yeah,
it was when it happened. And I mean, I did. I cried all night on the floor when it happened. But now I don't really think about it that much.
Yeah.
As much as, you know.
Yeah. Although it's, I guess, a conversation you have to have before sex.
Yeah, and I just don't want to have it. I just would rather not have sex completely and just be done with it.
Well,
there's just so many things to maneuver right now, you know.
Does it make you lonesome, though, that human contact sort of thing? Or do you get that from friends and family and stuff?
Well, that's true. I do feel like I am a very lonesome person, but whatever. I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for the day that the fucking sex robots come because they're affordable, you know?
I'm with you on that one.
I tell my friends I want one like a Teddy Ruxpin doll, and you can just put a tape in it and he starts telling you stories. And like, let him go. Let that Teddy Ruxpin go. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever see that Black Mirror where she orders the robot, the AI that's like her dead husband?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And then she ends up, no spoilers, but she ends up, you know, doing what she does with them. And I'm like, that's so cold, man. Like, she got sick of I don't know. I would be all about a sex robot. It seems way easier.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. What's your aspirations in life? What do you want to do besides the stand-up? Because you've been doing the entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah, I just want to make money. But I feel like today is my ex in New York City, the one person that I really loved, and I fucked that up. And I shouldn't talk. He's talked about me on a radio show before.
How'd you fuck it up?
Oh, well, I guess I can talk about it from my perspective. I was a sex addict, and it's like I said, it's trickled down to one person in 2 years. So, but yeah, and he was a really good person, and I was just a hardcore sex addict, freaking out about my body all the time, and just, you know, like my friends who are kind of, they would allow me to say the word fat. You know, they talk about going to fat camp and how it just makes it worse, and they gorge themselves with food. That's how I was with sex, you know.
Because you were trying to deny your whole life who you were, and so
or just because I was freaking out about my body, and I constantly wanted validation in every second about my body.
Because you had a penis, or because?
Yeah. I mean, we're getting hardcore up in this bitch.
Well, I'm just trying to understand.
That's pretty much how it was. Like, I was just freaking out about it constantly.
I think it's really important to talk about that, because I think that for people that don't really understand the concept of transgender, they think, well, what do you mean you don't feel like you're in the right body? Or what do you mean your penis isn't your penis? Or that your vagina's not your vagina? Or that your breasts are not your, you know.
I'm glad you're saying it, because this has been a very sticking point issue of how this is helping me evolve, like, and get comfortable. Because it makes me uncomfortable.
It does?
Yeah.
How come?
But I'm trying to get I want like a foreskin veil to like mourn it all and just be done with it. Like, that's where I'm at in my life. Just be like, and wear it around town. You know, just what I'm saying. Like, I really do. And my friend, my lesbian, her cousin is like a designer for Lady Gaga. And now, when she came to town and had that Joanne album or whatever, and it was all country pop. And I want to, like, I know he's probably, I can't afford him, but I'm trying to like get a foreskin veil.
You can wear with your discarded penis.
Just go around town in it and just say, fuck it. People are going to misgender me. Here's my foreskin bell. But I'm done.
Following you on socials, though, it sounds like people don't misgender you too often.
That's true. And it's getting better
in
the real world and everything, too, in my day-to-day. Over Christmas... I just went out. I didn't have my wig. I didn't do makeup because I was so depressed. My friend died. That's why I had sex. That's why I did cocaine. I was so depressed because we would always talk on Facebook about Lizzo, and she wanted to see me play on the piano a Lizzo song, and I can't do it, and I was sad, and so that's why I did it. And I went out one day because I was so depressed. I was like, just fuck it, I'm gonna go to the movies in just a pink jumpsuit and not any makeup or my tit forms or whatever, and people gendered me correctly that day. It was weird.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about your friend. That sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks. What is keeping you from doing the full transition then? Is it just financials? Because I know it's got to be expensive.
Yeah. Well, I was close. That's why I worked at Starbucks to get that insurance, yeah. And then it just all went to shit. It just blew up in my face. But part of it's financial. My friend moved to California, and he's had the surgeries, and it's paid for by the state of California, so that's where I'm figuring. I think my next move might be to move to a different state and have it just covered and just be done with it.
Sure.
And, so part of it's financial, and then in Vanderbilt, you have to go through hoops because it's a new thing for Vanderbilt. They make you jump through all these. You have to talk to like 4 different therapists, and
it's like that in Washington State as well. You have to do hormones for a year, presenting as the gender that you identify with, and then it starts the things like you start your therapy, and there's gender psychologists or psychiatrists that have to say yes.
I imagine it's, as my friend said, it's very extensive in California, but I just got flustered with what happened at Vanderbilt was they canceled. I had 3 appointments set up for more laser hair removal, and they just canceled my appointment outright, and I was just like frustrated over Christmas. I was like,
why did they cancel you?
I don't know. It was they had me go into a different clinic, and then that clinic rejected me because it was plastic surgery and it didn't go with my insurance. And then the other clinic just canceled my appointment outright because they didn't understand it was transgender, related or whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot of hoops.
And I just got tired of it. I'm just jumping through hoops left and right. I'm trying to that's today with so many things happening at once for me today. I'm just trying to just let go of it all and just live, I guess.
Have you ever felt comfortable in yourself, in your body?
I'm starting to more. Like I was doing when I was practicing for this interview today, looking in the mirror, I was like, oh, I'm getting comfortable. And that's what my voice therapist was saying. She was like, you're getting more comfortable in your body. And it's just been a process, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, I took dance classes and I take dance classes, and that's what the teachers say, you're getting more comfortable. It's just kind of like Lizzo, she didn't wake up. It took her 10 years to be Lizzo. And so it's taken me a while to just get comfortable in my body, probably longer than most people, I suppose.
And I think that when you've suffered at the hands of abusers, the most common reaction to being abused is to leave your body,
Yeah.
And so if you've had a lifetime of having to leave your body because either someone else is telling you you're not in the right frame of mind, or they're abusing you, sexually or emotionally or mentally or whatever it is, it's going to take a long time to shove you back down inside of yourself, That's tough. That's hard to deal with. And then you couple it with emotional stuff, Yeah, it's a lot. By the way, that's beautiful.
I believe I got this from one of the customers at Starbucks, this bracelet.
That's cool.
I've gotten a lot of my clothes from rich white women.
Right
they
on.
Just give me clothes.
Do you don't work at Starbucks anymore?
No, I had another bipolar episode at Starbucks. But
so you don't take medicine for that?
I should, but I got flustered at Vanderbilt. I'm trying to find a new doctor and new people to go to, but
Yeah.
Right now, I don't.
Do you have good insurance?
I do. Well, I do have good insurance, but like insurance, it's not the best, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you're funny? Do you know? Like, do you honor that in yourself?
I mean, a lot of people lately, like doing stand-up, have told me that. So.
No, I know that I think you're funny. I want to know if you think you're funny.
I mean, I laugh at myself just to get through life, essentially. Like, I was cracking up today. I forget what it was, but I was like, oh, because I want to see that movie, The Joker, or whatever, and I'm like, it reminds me of my life too much. I don't know if and I just started laughing because of it, like how much it reminded me of my life, in a sense, I suppose. Although I've always wanted to be Catwoman's, but that movie is too on the nose for me, I think.
Yeah, because I think Catwoman suffers a bit of a break, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Why don't you take your meds for bipolar?
Well, I was going to this doctor at Vanderbilt, and I ran out, and it's just, and I'm in the process of trying to find another doctor. I want somebody that kind of understands what I'm going through. It's just hard to like figure people out in Nashville, especially, that's like understanding about transgender people that's not affiliated with Vanderbilt. And I felt like I was kind of okay for the right now. The meds have been helpful this past year, but I felt like I was pretty stable. But this year I'm slowly tackling how to find the appropriate doctor that can help me more so.
Is there much transgender support in this state?
Well, Vanderbilt has, I wrote an article for the Nashville scene about it. Vanderbilt has like a kind of a near monopoly on it, and they're very new at this, and they don't really they're trying to get that support system in place to be better, but they're still trying to figure their way out, you know. Even the people, my voice therapist at Vanderbilt admitted that. They were like, well, we're trying to get it together, and, you know.
Yeah. Are you close with your family?
Yeah, not really, I suppose.
Are your parents alive?
Yeah, they are.
Are they here somewhere?
They're here, yes.
Do they call you by your dead name, or do they honor you for who you are?
Well, they don't even say anything. They're just like, that person wants a drink. Like, they don't even say it. And I appreciate that.
Really?
They're like, a certain person is hungry. That's what they say. A certain person is hungry tonight.
So they don't trip over their tongues or something? Is that why they're doing it?
No, because they just don't want to say it, and they don't want to offend me. They don't want to say it themselves, but they also don't want to offend me.
Well, at least they don't want to offend you. That's something.
But also because they know that I will probably go crazy and start cussing their ass out. But, like, I appreciate the effort.
Are they still religious?
Yeah, they're religious.
Yeah. Do you believe in God?
Well, maybe. I suppose maybe. I don't know. I kind of. I suppose. Kind of. I've always liked Jesus because I do. I just feel like he's a radical person, and I'm a very radical person, and I don't know. I really, but I don't know the whole organized religious aspect, you know.
I would totally like to hang out with Jesus. I feel like that would be a good hang, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Where are you heading?
Oh, God, who knows? I have a Hollywood woo-woo life coach now that I like her a lot. She has the flu this week. But
is she actually in LA?
Yeah, she's in LA.
I had the flu last week. It's
going around Los Angeles?
Gnarly, yeah. It's knocking everybody out. Yeah.
But yeah, she's Los Angeles and Nashville, and I feel like there's more momentum than any other time in my life. And that she's very good, and she works with like famousy people, and she's cutting me like the struggling ass transgender rate. So sure. I appreciate that.
That's good. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. I mean, seeing your writing and then following your story about the Entrepreneur Center and talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm giving a speech tomorrow night, and I practiced it today. I just wanted more resources for transgender. Honestly, the reason I got affiliated with the Nashville Entrepreneur Center was because I wanted a free office space, and I wanted like donuts and a coffee. That's it. And then they were like, "Oh, a transgender person's never applied for our class before. You should apply." And I was like, "Oh, I get a free office space? Like, sure, I'll come up with a business idea." So that's how it happened.
What's your business plan? Can you talk about it?
I guess so. I just want more resources for transgender people, essentially.
In Tennessee.
Or just around America.
Okay, yeah.
There's already, I can talk about it a little bit, there's already an app out there out of Spokane, Washington, and I'm going to try to interview them. I guess I can say it, I'm not really impressed with their app, but I feel like it might have, maybe they're just putting it out there and they're working on fine-tuning it, but like I downloaded it and it wasn't like, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to help me with my gender transition. And it was like a trans woman, the way she styles a wig is very important. I was like, okay, like that was their advice. And I was like, what the fuck, but I want to like interview them because I want to know if they're like really planning to like make it a gender transition app. So my idea is similar. Someone's beat me to the punch, but they gave me a trans woman's wigs is very important, so.
I like it. I feel like you'd be a great podcast host.
Oh, well, I used to do a radio show in Nashville in my past life. I was like the Marxist version of Kelly Ripa. Like, I would always call in, it was a Christian Descent show. And
a Christian what?
A Christian Descent. It was a progressive Christian show.
Okay.
And I would always call in, like, stoned or, like, like after I had sex. And I was just like the Marxist version of Kelly Ripa for their show.
Hilarious.
I guess that's why I'm doing here. I don't know. I'm drunk on wine, but I haven't seen Kelly Ripa in years. Is she drunk in the mornings?
I don't think so. I think that's a Hoda and Kathy, right?
That's right, but Kathy Leeds doesn't. She actually lives in Nashville.
Everybody lives here. Not me, though. I left.
Oh, I didn't know you were from Nashville.
Oh, well, I'm from Seattle, but I spent 13 years in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm in LA.
I might have to talk to you afterwards because I feel like I need to move to California.
It's the best. I love it.
Well, my life coach says that it's all going to shit with all the wildfires. So I've been kind of...
They have a fire
But you know what? That's a metaphor for America. It's all going to shit anyway. Why just go out to California?
Oh, California, Australia.
Fuck, that whole goddamn world's going to shit. Like, go out to California and just live it up.
That's the thing. Seize ye rosebuds while ye may.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of drugs to placate your brain?
I used to. I was barring the cocaine recently, but I have in the past.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of meth?
Well, not a lot, but I had some crazy ass experiences on meth, let me tell you, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to do that again.
Like what? Can we have one?
There was this couple, this was again in my past life, whatever you want to say, and it was like this kind of professional D-list Tennessee Titan football player that was like on the Titans or whatever, but I don't think he was. And this kind of D-list country singer, and they were like wanting a three-way situation. So I went over to their house, or his condo rather, and he starts smoking meth. And it was like the first time I had it, and like he lost all sense of who I was, and he thought I was like an intruder, and it was like a big muscly dude, and he was like all very vicious, like get out of my house, and it's like you just invited me over to smoke meth. I was like, I don't know what, but yeah, it was crazy.
Whoa.
So.
It's crazy.
I mean, one time over the years, there was this person in Hohenwald, Tennessee. It was like
Hole-in-wall?
Hole-in-wall, yes.
Okay, what?
Oh no! You must have. How much have you had to drink?
These are slippery chairs.
But yeah, there was this person in Hohenwald, and I was trying to like figure out myself. So it was like a husband and wife, hot wife situation. And I went over there.
So wait, they solicited you saying, hey, come be in the
Yeah, essentially.
And
so I was
presenting as...
What's that? No, this was back in my former pre-wig days. And so, yeah, I went over to their house, And I got there, and I saw like immediately when I walked in, I saw like Nazi insignias.
Oh my
and
gosh.
At the time, I was like, I don't know what to do. So then he takes me back to the bedroom, and he just starts texting his wife, and I'm like kind of freaking out silently, and I'm not completely dressed, like my ass is kind of hanging out a little bit, and I kind of waddle back to the kitchen. I was trying to figure out a way to like get out of the house essentially, and I noticed like the back door was like propped open, so I just kind of like waddled out or whatever. But yeah, it was like they were like part of like I guess neo-Nazis or what have you.
Did you end up hooking up with them?
No, I left the house. I was like, no.
Okay, question. Was this like a Craigslist thing?
It was back in the day when Craigslist was a thing, yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's dangerous, girl. You could.
Yeah, that's why I don't have sex anymore. Like, that's crazy shit, man. It's just like, fuck it. Like,
have you feared for your life along the way, besides sleeping with people that maybe...
I talked about this recently during stand-up. I hooked up with a dude that looked like Dr. Phil. And that was interesting, you know. So you never know what you could get. You get Dr. Phil or a neo-Nazi person. So that's why I stopped doing it. I was like, I'm done with this. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is dangerous. I'm glad you stopped doing that, for sure. I cannot wait to read your book. Please write one.
Okay, that's what everyone says.
Are you kidding?
I'm going to just do it. I moved to New York City for an internship with Rolling Stone, and I 2 years as a fact checker at Us Weekly.
Oh. How was that? That seems a paradox. Us Weekly fact checker.
Yeah, well, yeah. And they are, I remember my ex's, one of his friends was like the head of the fact checking department. I don't know, well, they since have changed ownership, and a lot of people I know have left. But I feel like it's very like fact checking and like from what that friend of my ex told me, fact checking in quotation marks.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. Yeah, I do know what you're saying. Are you on any of the?
But I liked it. I loved doing it because it had the best catered meals. Like they would have shrimp from, I don't know where they got it, but it was delicious every time I was there. They would always have catered meals.
They have good food. That's like Microsoft. They have good snacks at Microsoft.
Yeah, and celebrities, I don't know if I was there the day Courtney Love came into the office, but like, I don't know. I've blocked out a lot of information in my life. I've done a lot of drugs, so Courtney Love, I have a newfound respect for Courtney Love.
You don't think she killed Kurt?
Well, I did at first, but not anymore. I just think, actually my ex in New York City saw Courtney Love at like this bar in like NoHo or whatever, and people were coming up to Courtney Love thinking that she was trans or whatever, and she was like, well, I do have that masculine energy. She's
tall too, right?
Yeah. And so I've always appreciated Courtney Love after hearing that story. I was like, she seems, because I would flip the fuck out. I mean, that's the difference between Courtney Love has more together than me, because I would flip the fuck out if people misgender me and start throwing shit. And I have. So Courtney Love has it more together than me. Well, what does that say about me?
Well, I don't know that you're impassioned about not being misgendered. Right?
That's true.
Are you on the dating apps? Did I ask that? I can't remember.
Well, no, hardly at all. I did find that baseball bro on Christmas because I was depressed. Because in my past life as a dude, I wanted to bang him, and then I saw he was on it.
Is he gay, or does he identify as straight?
I don't know what he was into me being trans, but like, you know, and I saw he was on. I was like, I wanted to bang him years ago, and so I was on that app for Christmas. Let me tell you.
Do you get nervous about the fact that when you are a transgender person, that the likelihood of you being hurt?
Oh yeah, that's another reason I don't have sex. But he seemed pretty cool despite being high on cocaine. So I was like, whatever, you know, it's Christmas. Celebrate baby Jesus' birth. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Just celebrate his birth.
Peace on earth, goodwill to us all, really.
That's right.
I love it. What about shopping? Do you get to
shopping?
Yeah, do you have issues when you go out to buy your outfits and stuff? If people give you shit, or are you cool with
Well, I went to the Nashville, what's that called? The Empowerment for Working Women or whatever. Dress for Success.
Right.
And they gave me, because tomorrow I need to go get new heels for this speech or whatever.
Those are cute.
The rain boots I got from Walmart for $15.
What's your shoe size?
Excuse me.
You're fine.
Excuse me. Shoe size is 12 in women.
Oh, me too.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I'll have to send you some shoes.
True.
You like rain boots? I have a pair of
I just like those because it communicates to people, don't fuck with me. I'm obviously going through some shit.
It
it's
rains
peak
here
rain
all
boots.
the time. It rains here so much.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's nuts. Let me tell you about the desert. Doesn't rain. It's the best. I love LA so much. It's a little plug.
Well, hopefully, I need more LA people, so hopefully we can hang out.
Well, come visit.
Yeah.
Why not? It's just a plane
Maybe
ride.
my life coach will put me up. I'm paying her $400 a month, damn it. She should put me up in her house.
So what are you going to do for work? What's your next plan on that?
Well, I'm trying to do copywriting from home. I've been trying to do that for years, but I feel like I'm more closer than I've ever been for doing that.
That's good.
Because I do not like dealing with people. I'm also taking coding classes because, again, a lot of trans people do it, and I don't like dealing with people.
Wait, medical coding?
No, like coding, HTML, JavaScript.
Sure. Yeah.
All those coding languages.
Oh, yeah. I studied in college literature and world religion. I should have studied computers. All the people that study
I feel like
computers.
that's where the jobs are going, and it's very suited for trans people that don't like dealing with people. So I'm going all in with this coding
Somebody
shit.
has to program the sex robots.
That's true. I mean, when we're all put out of work and everyone has a sex robot, who's going to program that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to interview the sex robot people. That's on my list.
That would be a good interview.
Yeah. Because, I posted a thing on Facebook last year. I said, hey, if you had the opportunity to have a sex robot, would you jump at the chance, or is that just awful for you? And it was pretty neck and neck, really, with responses, but I'm all about it. Give me some alcohol swabs, keep it clean. And
they really are. And I'm ready for the sex robots to take over.
Yeah, especially if they pass, as they say, the Turing test, where they're learning as they go, and they're smart and they can have conversation and talk about things. Imagine you could talk about anything. Be like, let's talk about architecture or obscure Italian writers or
exactly, and then
baseball
the
or whatever.
Cisgender dude just put on Sports Center and have me eat some KFC. I want to talk about architecture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
don't be want to watch Sports Center just to have sex.
They are very specific in the female AI sex robot. I watched this really interesting documentary about it, and right down to the nipple choice, like hundreds of nipple choices and pubic hair choices or not, and like all this stuff. I'm like, they better be that specific when it comes to the men, the boy robots. I think that's great. I don't know. I get tickled by it. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. Bring it on. I think it's good. And if I was dating someone, I would be like, yeah, let's get you a sex robot. Because what if I have the flu and you're really horny? I'm not going to want to have sex with you.
That's true. Just bring him out of the closet.
Sex robot.
Yes.
No harm, no foul. It's a lot less complicated. All right. Well, I see you moving to LA. And I'm going to give you your fortune. I'm going to see you moving to LA and writing for your book and having it be this international bestseller.
Oh, that's what people have been saying for years. But I'm finally over my, penis trauma. So maybe I'm getting close because I've been freaking out for about a decade about it. Because we would used to have conversations about articles I had written, and that would be like, oh, what does your Aunt Dolores say about this article? It's scandalous. And for years, I wouldn't do anything. I couldn't even be a Walmart reader because I was concerned about what Aunt Dolores thought. And so now I'm just like, fuck it. I'm old as fuck. Like, who gives a shit? I'm getting my foreskin veil. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? I'm
it's
old
your
as
life.
fuck.
How old are you?
I'm old as fuck. How old do I look? Old as fuck.
You have really good skin.
Well, that's because I use a shitload of
moisturizer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the grade A moisturizer. I have.
What do you use?
I have, well, my doctor's prescribed it, the Trentanol.
Oh, yeah.
Then I have those Sarah Jessica Parker wrinkle releaser things that I was in the audience for a Martha Stewart episode, and she gave us away like those little roll-on things.
Oh, the jade roller
Yes.
things? I have one of those. It's great when you first start using it because it's so cold. It feels so nice in the morning.
And then I worked at a factory that was like Walmart, cosmetic products, and I took a shitload of their moisturizers.
Yeah, your skin
So
is
I'm
good.
covered.
You don't have any wrinkles.
Well, I have it hidden with this headband, I guess.
That's you Botox that shit.
I know. I think I can get that for free, maybe at Vanderbilt. I don't know. I'm on Vanderbilt financial assistance for a lot of shit, even though I had at the time good insurance. But like, if it's under their dermatology department, maybe there's a chance.
Are you gonna get your Starbucks job back so you have that insurance?
Well, I am on the blacklist of Starbucks, honey.
No,
let me tell you. Yes, I tried to get a job back there, but they were like, "You're unhireable here." It took them like months to tell me that. I figured I was.
You
unhireable.
had so many wonderful Facebook posts about your Starbucks stuff. I mean, that alone, I feel like
Yes,
could be
it was
a book.
good material.
Such good material.
Well, they had this new store manager that came, and she made it people like in the mornings dance like it was the Ellen DeGeneres show. And you are not paying me money to dance like it's Ellen DeGeneres. I don't give a fuck. Like, if she wanted me to dance for the customers in the morning and have a good time, if I'm up at 5 a.m., that's just a miracle in and of itself. I'm not going to dance for you. You know what I'm saying?
It takes a lot of espresso to get
So
that.
I told her to go fuck herself. But I didn't tell her that, but I was like, I am out of this motherfucker. I'm not dancing for these fucking customers at 7:30 a.m. You crazy bitch. I mean, seriously, like, why are you making me dance for the customers?
Yeah, it seems a little weird. What's something that you wish people would know about you?
Oh. Well, I guess that I've had a lot of trauma, but I'm trying really hard, damn it. I'm trying so hard.
Yeah.
You don't even know how hard I'm trying. I'm trying hard. I'm trying to get this disability. Like I said, my ex, who was a performer in New York City, cerebral palsy, he was on disability. And I just feel like, I mean, he had cerebral palsy, but he was able to perform at colleges and at the Edinburgh Festival, and
That's a big one.
yeah, he was able to, and he moved to LA essentially for a sitcom deal that fell through, but like, he had a pretty decent life being like, it was able to maneuver around it and still collect disability. So
Why'd y'all break up?
again, because I was a sex addict.
Oh, that was the sex.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
I was sucking a lot of dick in New York City. I ruined it. I'm a terrible person.
No, you're not. How can people find you?
I guess just follow me on Facebook or Twitter. I'm on Instagram.
Under Winter Breedlove.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Facebook posts are epic.
I have fun. I just do it to like, because it cracks me up and I have a hard life, and that's why I say such random funny shit, because I've had a hard life and I have to laugh about it.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that you bring joy to a lot of people. We have a mutual friend, Rachel Kais.
Oh yeah, I love Rachel Kais.
She's the best, yeah.
Back in the day, I was gonna interview her for like a Country Weekly went under, but we went out pretending like we were gonna get an interview, and she was so nice to me, and I've always loved Rachel Kais.
She's the best. She and I went hiking a few weeks ago, so I told
Is that how we know each other?
It might be through Rachel. It might be, you know how sometimes on Facebook it says, you should know this person, somebody I know, I think maybe commented in one of your missives, and
there also was the dude that runs the clinic, or the fitness studio down the street.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, Redline Fitness, and then I noticed he was a mutual friend of yours.
Redline.
I don't know his name, but he sniffed out I was trans, and I like that, and I might go back, but I didn't go with like a wig and makeup and my Amazon.com titties. And he just got it, because at first he was like all broy with me, and then I was like, don't do that shit. I said that to him. I was like, stop that shit. And then he stopped, and now he follows me on Instagram, so I think he understands that I'm going through some issues.
Sure.
But I like him. I might go back now.
Do you remember his name? Cool. His first name?
From California. I think he might be Asian. I'm not sure.
Huh. But we know each other, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot of people on Facebook that I'm not sure I actually know, but just, I follow them. It's Facebook. What are you going to do?
Devin, I want to say it's Devin.
Devin. Huh. I don't know. Maybe.
I have fun. I'm surprised how much fun I'm having. Did we go over the interview time?
No, not at all. But, I just want people to follow you and read all your stuff.
How long does this show go on? It feels like it should be wrapping up soon.
Yeah, so we usually go.
I'm having fun, though. I'm drinking all your friends' wine.
You were nervous about coming. Why were you nervous?
Because I'm probably going to listen I'm not going to listen to this. My ex is friends with some famous people, and we went out to dinner with them, and they were like, we don't watch ourselves. She was like, I don't watch myself on TV. I don't think I'm going to listen. I might promote it on social media, but I don't think I'm going to listen to it.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but that's very normal. And most people don't like listening to themselves.
I'm like trying my best with my vocal therapy exercises.
You sound great. If we hadn't let on that you're transgender, I don't know that anybody would necessarily know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I do get gendered properly a lot for my voice.
Yeah.
Like at Starbucks, when I was at Starbucks, I always loved working on the drive-thru because...
They call you Miss and Mrs. Yes. I think I remember you posting about stuff like that.
And then that new manager wanted to take me off the ovens and take me off the drive-thru, and that's when it all went to shit. She was like, you're going to work on the fronts. And I was like, hell no, I'm not. I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I'm over there on the ovens pushing those buttons from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., and that is my safe space, is pressing those buttons on the oven to warm up the sausage biscuit.
I'm still mad at Starbucks for taking away my gluten-free breakfast sandwich.
I'm mad at them for a lot of shit. I'm not going back to... I love my friends at Starbucks, but fuck them. Fuck Starbucks.
You're hilarious. Winter Breedlove, thank you for being on the show. I wish all the best things.
I'm glad that I finally came and did it and not been so scared anymore.
Yeah.
When is this going to be run?
In a couple weeks. We'll put it out there.
I'm excited.
I'm glad you're excited. I'm very gentle. See?
I might do it again. This was fun.
Good. I say get the word out, Do it. I think you should have your own podcast. I think people would listen.
I might do it. Fuck it. I'm in that phase of my life where I'm just saying, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
And then when you put out your book that I feel like you will write, you come back on and you promote the book.
All right, I will.
Is that a deal?
Yeah, that's a deal.
Sweet, sister. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you, Winter.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, everybody. Rate and review Hey Human on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you.